What an end to the year, what an end to the decade. Hello everybody and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions. It's time for another review of another Oxford United game. Today, the U's travelled to AFC Wimbledon. Injury, illness and general fatigue led Carl Robinson to say he was going to make some big changes going into this game. He made 5 changes from the side that beat Lincoln 1-0 on Boxing Day. Elliot Moore, Sam Long, Robbie Hall, Mark Sykes and Jamie Mackey all came into the side. John Mousinho, Chris Cadden, James Henry, Tariq Fosu and Matty Taylor all went out of the side. Still a very strong Oxford side. Good to see Sykes get a start. Good as always to see Robbie Hall get a start. We know Oxford have been in great form. 2 kind of say scrappy 1-0 wins. I say they were still good performances, have meant that we are in striking distance of the automatic promotion places. Wimbledon, on the other hand, have struggled a little bit this season. Despite that, their form has improved over the last few games. Out of their last 5 matches, they have won 3 and drawn 1. So taking 10 points out of the last 15 available, that's pretty good by their standards. And make no mistake, this will be a battle this afternoon. As I said, for many games, you get the feeling that if Oxford can score early, the game should be relatively comfortable. But Wimbledon, you know it's always going to be physical and it's always going to be difficult. A wonderful battling display saw Oxford United win their final game of 2019. It ended up AFC Wimbledon 1, Oxford United 2. So this game was tight and it was difficult as we expected, but Oxford found a way to win, as they seem to do over the last few months, bearing aside the MK Dons result. They were certainly on top in the first half, despite Wimbledon having a goal disallowed after 16 minutes. And during Oxford's good play, they did take the lead. It was Sam Long ending off a wonderful move, about 15-16 passes. It was Long with a cross from the right. It was a beautiful cross. It went through to the back post. The Wimbledon player, he had to do something. It was McLaughlin. He had to get a touch on it. Unfortunately, it diverted into the home net. If he didn't do that, there were players behind him ready to strike, or knowing Oxford's luck lately, he probably would have missed. But he had to kind of do something. It was just unfortunate that it went in. But hey, who cares about that? We'll take it, and United were up 1-0. It was very good to see Long contribute. I think he's never let Oxford down. Obviously, Chris Cadden's been the favoured right-back all season, and he's not going to stay. So it would be good to see Long get a run in the side. I know they're probably going to look to bring in a right-back. He's always overlooked, and as I say, he's never let Oxford down, and he contributes. He contributes with goals, and this time he's contributed with an assist. So Oxford did continue to play well, but as of recent weeks, folks, we just cannot kill off teams. We had that little purple patch in like September, October and November as well, where we were just scoring goals for fun. That's kind of disappeared now, and we're having to create a lot of chances to score goals, which is very, very disappointing. But with our defence is so good, it is meaning that we are getting by just scoring largely one in games. But because of this, Wimbledon did grow into this game, and certainly towards the back end of the half, they did start to not dominate, but they did start to create a lot of pressure and create some chances, and they called Archer into 1 or 2 saves. And I would say Oxford were quite relieved to hear the half-time whistle to get in. Robinson could regroup the players. It did end at half-time, 1-0 to Oxford. But unfortunately, the half-time interval did not change Oxford's fortunes, and Wimbledon came out and scored just 2 minutes after half-time. It was Joe Pigott who scored it. They were continually putting balls into the box. He got on the end of one with a fine finish. Yes, Oxford's marking wasn't great, but we've been so good defensively lately. There's always going to be 1 or 2 lapses. It'll be interesting to see how Oxford responded to this, because Wimbledon was certainly on top, the crowd were going for it, and Oxford really needed to regroup big time. You can certainly bring out the book of cliches to say this game could have gone either way. Both sides were creating chances, both sides were looking pretty good, but the game did hinge on the 3rd goal, and yes, it came for Oxford United. And it was from an unfamiliar source. It was Mark Sykes getting his first goal for the club. But you have to look at this goal, because this goal is all made by a wonderful through ball by Shandon Baptiste. Oh my goodness, what a through ball. He's like cut it through 2 or 3 players to have Sykes to run in on goal. He produces a really good finish, and it's so good to see him scoring. I've been really impressed with Sykes over the last 2 or 3 games. I love the way he plays. He always plays on the front foot. Always trying to be inventive and trying to make things happen for Oxford. It's really good to see him get reward for his good play over the last few weeks. So you're thinking, can Oxford get a third and kill this game off? No, of course they can't get a third. They have to hang on to what they've got lately, and luckily they did. Wimbledon didn't really create too much. There was a couple of half chances and maybe some sloppy mistakes and some pressure, but largely it looked like Oxford were in control when they went 2-1 up, and they saw the game out relatively comfortably, and it ended up with a 2-1 win for the final game of 2019. So what a superb performance by Oxford. I think this is a really good statement that they've made over the Christmas time. It's obvious to say they've won 3 games in a row, but they've battled hard in all 3 of those games as well. Yes, okay, the Wycombe game, they were down to 10 men for a long time, but Lincoln was largely a bit of a slog and they came through it, and today was largely a bit of a slog and they came through it as well. So really good battling performance. A lot of that comes through that midfield with the likes of Goran, with the likes of Brannigan. Baptiste is certainly getting better every game. Obviously good to see Sykes playing well. And you've got someone like Mackie who's just, yes, it's disappointing he doesn't score the goals, but he's such a hard worker and he just makes things happen. He creates mistakes and he really buoys the whole team and the fans up with his work rate. So what a year 2019 has been for Oxford United. We started it horribly in the relegation form at the end of 2018. And now look where we are. And also if you look back at the whole decade, starting with the start of 2010 where we were in the conference and desperately trying to get out of it, to where we are now, second in the league, we're fighting hard to get automatic promotion this season. It looks like there's going to be some money to bring in players in January. It's certainly exciting times to be an Oxford fan. So all I can say is enjoy it, Oxford fans. Let's hope this form continues well into the new year and that we're celebrating promotion to the Championship come April or May. So that'll do it for another review. Well done to Carl Robinson and the boys. The good form continues. If you like this video, please give it a like. It helps so much for the battle to get views on YouTube. And also think about subscribing to the channel as well. If you subscribe, hit that notify bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. I will be back on the 1st of January for the review of the Doncaster game. And remember, if you're looking for detailed football analysis, you're probably in the wrong place.